Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? It is Thursday, October 22nd, and this is, of course, your daily financial news. If you like getting your daily financial news in little 10, 12, maybe 13-minute chunks, do yourself a favor and hit subscribe. Again, what we do here is every day around 7:30 Pacific, we take the opportunity to review what is going on in the markets, real estate, investing your money. We're not doing silly videos about stimulus because that is now just Lucy, Charlie Brown, and the football. If you don't know what I mean, I did a video a couple of days ago on that. It is just political theater at the expense of all of us. But in order for us to get started today, we got to talk about the unemployment claims this morning. They are, frankly, a really good number no matter how you slice them. A lot of details in here I want to give you. First and foremost, I own it. I talked about this being the time that it might go above 900,000. Not only was I wrong, I was really wrong. The number this morning came in at 787,000. This is the lowest since March. In addition to that, they have now gone back and revised last week, which was a number that I was like, ooh, that hurt. They had 898, which was the outlier. They now have revised that to a more traditional 842,000. 840,000 is what we've been talking about is the foundation. Last week was a very noisy week, mainly because of California. I don't know if you know this, but California has suffered some rather ridiculous fraud in the unemployment system, talking millions of dollars here. And what they had to do the last couple of weeks is shut it down. And they just sent over an estimate. They estimated 225,000 for 2 weeks in a row, which turned out to be off. And now they've gone back and revised it. So last week's 898 is now 842. I would call that trend continued per conversations with Jonathan. So I own that. I don't mind. I love being wrong, right? Especially on the good side. In addition to that, what we see is continuing claims continue to fall. Continuing claims continue to fall. How about that? Another million off that now sub 8.4 million. And then the number that really stuck out to me, another number that stuck out to me was 5.7% unemployment rate. 5.7 was so low, I didn't write it down the first time because I thought the article I read was wrong. I went and actively seeked other articles, and yes, they all came in at 5.7. Why 5.7? Well, for many of my early years, right, when I got my econ degree, MBA, they talked about full employment being right around 5.5 or 6%. Well, 5.7 is kind of like in the middle of that. I know we were coming off a February low of 3.5%. But again, the economy, at least as the unemployment goes, is healing itself. It's still not great. It's not perfect. Lots more pain. We've lost millions of people from actively looking because the unemployment, you have to be actively looking. The other thing we are seeing in these numbers, and this will bear watching, normal unemployment is 26 weeks. This is important. What we've done is we've created an emergency order adding 13 weeks. That additional 13-week add is called an emergency assistance program. And that is a different system. Don't ask me why. It just is. What we saw this week is 509,000 people roll off the traditional system, which means they exhausted all 26 weeks. That's not good. And now they're on the emergency system. The emergency system is 13 weeks long. And there are 3.3 million people in that. So don't ask me why those 3.3 million aren't included in traditional unemployment numbers. My guess is because it's a number that's always reported on 26 weeks. But we are going to watch that number grow. And this could be one of the reasons continuing claims is falling, right? I mean, this is just how crazy these weekly numbers can be. They just reported, and I just said, continuing claims fell a million. Nice. Pretty good, right? But roughly 500,000 of those got kicked to another system. Nobody talks about that. So again, I don't want to argue the details. Unemployment numbers I've talked about many, many times on a week by week basis or noisy. God, wow, hard to say. But I look for the trend, not an individual data point. But my takeaway from this is the market is healing faster than I thought. We are still headed into what I believe will be a bumpy period. My thought prediction of 1 million unemployment next week looks stupid in light of this number, but we shall see what happens. So again, I don't know. I'm going to call it a surprisingly good number and be happy for it. Bless me. I need to get the maids to come back and clean my room, I guess. So that was a very interesting number. Again, couldn't understand why California was guessing 225 and had to shut it down, but that's okay. Other news of the day, existing home sales just came out. They are so smashing, so outstanding. I am going to do a hot take on them specifically, likely in the next 30 to 40 minutes. But let's just say existing home sales were up, supply is down, and pricing around the country is up double digits. All these talking heads on YouTube that are talking about a housing crash in 2021 don't understand the momentum going on. It's just not in the cards. The timeline, it's just real estate, single family homes is not stock. A lot of these young kids talking about a housing crash probably have impressions that housing goes down as fast as stock does. It doesn't go that way. So pretty interesting stuff. Again, look for a hot take on that shortly. Another thing to talk about is American Airlines. The airline industry is in trouble. It looks like there's no bailout coming for them, which again, I am all for. Stop feeding zombie companies. If you're going to help the airlines, what about the theaters? The theater's about to go bust. What about hotels? We just can't bail everybody out. The industry needs to change. And a likely outcome, folks, is airline tickets were going to cost more. I mean, that's one of the likely things here. But American Airlines is looking to raise cash. They are looking to raise $1 billion by selling common stock. 1 billion. Pretty crazy. Southwest Airlines reported today, generally, I don't know, improving numbers. Southwest Airlines is asking their employees to take a 10% haircut on pay so they don't have to have furloughs. Southwest Airlines in all its history has never furloughed anyone. I think probably I think it is the best run airlines, at least best North American airline. I like what they do there. They are going to start populating middle seats December 1st. They are one of the last major carriers to do that. Other airlines are booking their planes full. Southwest has held back on that, but they will start doing that December 1st. Don't know if you've heard this, but there's a company called Quibi. It was started here in the last 6 months, basically short form videos, 8, 10, 12 minutes long. Meg Whitman, I believe, was the CEO and helped raise funds. I've known Meg from her time at Hewlett Packard. I was in several high-level meetings with Meg, so I know her a little bit. But yeah, they blew through a bunch of capital. Quibi raised $2 billion. $2 billion. $2 billion. And now they are shutting it down after 6 months. Can you imagine? I mean, in this environment where people are watching on their phones ever more and they couldn't make this work, I would have thought this was the best time for a short form video, but apparently not. Shutting it down after 6 months. And good news is they're returning some capital back to their investors. I'm sure it won't be a lot, but that will be interesting. Another couple of things. We have Kevin O'Leary out talking about stimulus again, and he is adamant, stop feeding zombie companies. I couldn't agree with him more. Get money to the people that need it. The other thing I will say is the Senate, which in my Charlie Brown, Lucy, and football analogy is actually Linus. In the analogy in the video, I talked about even if Charlie Brown and Lucy could agree to kick the football, which the football is the stimulus, Linus will come up and block it. I do not see the Senate agreeing to any stimulus package of this size because their base case for the economy improving is validated by the numbers that were reported today. There is zero chance a stimulus deal gets done, even if Nancy and Mnuchin and Trump agree. Mitch and the Senate will go, haha, not on our watch. So we are going to have to see what is happening now. And then the last thing to talk about today is, I don't know if you've seen this, but Peter Schiff, a gold bug, a self-proclaimed gold bug, and someone I've watched over the years just to kind of see what the other side is like. He apparently has been highlighted by the New York Times. The company is being looked at for tax evasion and money laundering. Apparently, he responded on YouTube to the complaint in a detailed response. I bring that up because that is interesting. He is taking the response to YouTube, so I have to go find that and see what he has to say. Again, don't know anything, just the highlight in the New York Times. And what I thought was interesting, and Peter's like, all right, I see you. I'm going to take it to the public opinion, and we are going to we're going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to tell my audience what is going on. So the power of YouTube again. So again, what you're going to get today, Jonathan is actually closing on a second home, so we are unfortunately going to talk to him next week. What I'm going to do is a hot take on existing home sales, which were just blistering hot. And I've created a couple of PowerPoint presentations that I will record here shortly, so you'll have some additional new content throughout the day. All right, everybody, take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day. Remember, thumbs up, subscribe, notify if you want to get your financial news at 7:30 every day. Right here. Take care, everyone.